Hey, it's Katie, and welcome back to my booktube channel. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a Christmassy shirt in January, that is because today I am reviewing The Girl with the Pirate Smile by Joseph Truitt, which is a Christmas mystery novel. I'm super excited about this because the author actually reached out to me and asked me to review this book, which is the first time that's happened for me, so I was super excited, and I'm so glad that he did because this is such a great book. So this book takes place in Pottsville during Christmas time, and it follows 10-year-old Emma, who makes this new mysterious friend who ends up convincing her to break into this old cookie factory. And they end up getting super close really fast until all these weird things start happening around her friend Penelope, and Emma starts to question the reality of her new friend. After reading the synopsis, it just sounds super cute. I mean, I feel like that's every kid's dream, is to like break into a cookie factory and have as many cookies as you could imagine. That just sounds like such a fun adventure for any kid. So I was definitely intrigued by reading it, especially with the fact that it's not only a Christmas book, which I love Christmas, but it also is a Christmas mystery, which is something I've never really read before. So that definitely drew me in. And also a fun fact is that Joseph Truitt's daughter did all of the chapter art. So there's a little picture at the beginning of every chapter, which is a super cute addition to the book. And he also said that this story was inspired by It's a Wonderful Life and A Christmas Story, and the town of Pottsville and the cookie factory itself was inspired by Edward Scissorhand, which I've never seen that, but I feel like saying that it was inspired by those kind of just describes the whole vibe of the book. I could definitely see where all of that came from. I feel like it's such a cool combination and definitely represents the kinds of things you will experience while reading this book. Before we get into more of my thoughts on this book, I wanted to let you guys know that even though Joseph reached out to me to review this book, that does not in any way affect my opinions or the things I'm telling you guys. These are still my honest thoughts and opinions. And also, I will try to make sure there are no spoilers in this because everybody hates spoilers. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm just here to get you guys excited about this book because it genuinely is really good. I feel like the first thing I want to talk about is Emma, our main character, because I loved her so much. She, I feel like, just embodies Christmas to me because when I think about Christmas, no matter how old I get, Christmas always makes me feel like a little kid and so joyous and makes me want to go on all these adventures, and it makes me believe that anything can happen, any miracles can happen, that I can do anything. There's just something so magical about Christmas, and I feel like Emma embodies all of those things. Aside from Emma, there's so many other amazing characters in this book too. All of the side characters I feel like had so much growth and character development throughout the novel, and they all had a purpose because there's certain books that you read and you meet these side characters for like a second and sometimes you don't really understand why they were even needed. But I feel like every character in this story had a purpose, and you kind of got to see a lot of them throughout the story, a lot more than you usually would in some other books, which I really appreciated. And some of my favorite characters were the side characters too, so that was kind of nice. Even though you only got some glimpses, I feel like they all added something really special to the story, and I loved them, especially Mrs. Adams, who was Emma's teacher in school, and her and her husband also were the ones who owned the cookie factory. So it was nice to see her throughout the story, especially because Emma, our main character, lives with her grandparents because her parents passed away. And so Miss Adams is kind of like this motherly figure to her, I feel like. She kind of helps her out at school and tries to protect her and give her some extra support that she needs, which is so nice to see. She honestly reminded me of, I don't know if it was a teacher or a neighbor or whoever that really nice lady is in Matilda, which I haven't seen in so long, but for some reason, that's who she reminded me of because she was just so sweet and caring, and I don't know, she was such a nice character to read about. She just seemed like the sweetest person, which I really enjoyed seeing. Before reading this book, after just reading the synopsis, this seemed like a fun, cute, like fluffy Christmassy read that would kind of be geared toward a younger audience. And this definitely is something that younger kids can read. And I think it would be super enjoyable to them because there's this fun adventure with a cookie factory and so many fun friendships that are built throughout this story that I think there is something for kids, but there's definitely something for an older audience too. I think this book would be good for people of all ages, which honestly really surprised me because I don't feel like there's a lot of books out there that everybody would enjoy. But aside from the super fun cookie adventure, there's also some more serious, like deeper things that are touched on too. Like I said, with Emma living with her grandparents because her parents passed away. And also, Pottsville is kind of like a mining town. So Emma's family can't really afford a lot, and her shoes keep falling apart, which is something you learn very early on in the story. And so that's something that's a little more serious. And I think there's some other things too, but those are like the main things that stick out to me right now. So there's some deeper, more serious, more emotional things than what I initially thought. But I think that would give something for that's something adults can connect to as well, along with the fact that Emma and this cookie adventure also can connect you with your childhood because it's so fun and magical to experience. Along with those more serious things I was mentioning, I feel like this book is the perfect combination of this fun, kid-like adventure that made me laugh out loud. Like, honestly, most books don't usually make me laugh out loud, but for some reason this one kept catching me off guard. There were so many moments throughout it that just made me laugh, and they were just so fun. And when you read it, you will see what I mean because there's definitely a few moments that stand out to me. And it's a perfect combination of moments like that and also those more serious, more emotional moments of dealing with grief and these other more serious things that are realistic, which I liked. That was something I liked about this book. You get that magical element and those feelings of hope and believing that anything can happen mixed with some realistic things too that gives the book that extra touch. Overall, I really loved that this combined mystery and Christmas and also pirates because they learned about pirates in school, and that's kind of a theme that you see glimpses of throughout the book. And that's just such a cool combination. I feel like that really drew me in because I've never really read a Christmas mystery. I've never read anything involving pirates. So it was just so fun and new to me and such a clever combination, especially as something that children can also enjoy. I think they will really gravitate toward those pirate elements. I don't know why I can't talk today, but it was just really fun. This is a little random, but one of my favorite quotes from the book that still stands out to me after finishing it, because I can definitely relate to it as a reader, and I feel like this is something I've thought a few times, but Emma says that she doesn't care if people think the books she's reading are silly because she's already lived hundreds of lifetimes through those stories. And that really, I feel like I really connected with that because that's one of the main reasons I love to read. It's a way for me to escape and to just dive into these different scenarios and situations that I would not necessarily get to live or experience. And I don't know, I just feel like kind of what she said, you get to live hundreds of lifetimes just by reading stories. And I love that. I really loved the ending of this book because it felt very hopeful and uplifting, which is something I always enjoy with books, but especially with how this last year has gone. I feel like when you have something that makes you feel hopeful in any way, it's just very nice. And you feel all these emotions throughout this book. There's so much like joy and laughter and magic and adventure and even some grief you experience through some of the characters. But the fact that it all ends with this hope is just so nice, and I really liked that. And honestly, the first thing I wanted to do after finishing this book was go bake Christmas cookies because the fact that this whole adventure revolves around this cookie factory, during Christmas time, I mean, how could you not want to go bake cookies? That was like definitely the first thing I wanted to do. Or honestly, it'd probably be nice to bake cookies before reading this because I feel like that'd be a good snack while you're reading. So, kind of recommend that. Overall, like I said, I was pleasantly surprised by this book. I went into it feeling very hopeful because it seems like such a cute, cool concept. But I loved that there was genuinely something for everybody to connect to and something for everybody to like in this story. The characters kind of jumped off the page to me because I just loved so many of them, and they all developed so much throughout the book, which I always enjoy. I feel like that's such a great thing for authors to do with their characters, and it's just really good. So I highly recommend reading it. And also, the second book in this series is in the works now, and I think is hopefully going to come out around April, so sometime this year, which is very exciting because I think this is a series with 3 Christmas mystery stories. So the next one is called Confessions of a Christmas Cookie Pirate. So if you're interested, make sure to read this one soon so you can read that one when it comes out because it's so fun. And if you have kids, I feel like this would be really fun for you both to read together. I just highly recommend it. I really enjoyed this read, and even though it's after Christmas time, it didn't feel overly Christmassy. It definitely captured the Christmas spirit and does involve some Christmas elements, but this is something I feel like you can read at any time throughout the year. So definitely go pick it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and click the notification bell so you know when I upload next. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video.